We live tonight. Special broadcast. We got a five-member panel today. This should be good. Six people gonna be in the broadcast. Tonight we going to discuss characteristics of a bitter man slash woman. Shakita, you have something to say?
Are we starting the topics now?
No.
Okay. So, I wanted to just kind of, I know at some point when Quentin was broadcasting, posting like, I guess advertising, somebody was like, well, we should cancel it, because, of what happened with Kobe, nobody's going to tune in. We should cancel it. And Quentin was like, we're still gonna, go forward with it. And I think that was a really good idea. I think we all have something to say as far as the tragic accident that happened with Kobe Bryant, his daughter, and the other people that were on board the helicopter. It was just tragic. It was sad. And I did think people all over the world, especially in Italy where he grew up, is probably having a really difficult time right now. And I think it's important if we all, say a little something, I think, in some regard of what we thought of him. I tell people all the time, I was not a Kobe fan. I couldn't stand him. I couldn't stand him running up and down that court. He was getting on my nerves, but it was because he was putting in that work, and any team he came up against, he beat, and he was a phenomenal player. And I was really looking forward to seeing what he was going to contribute, to the rest of to the world, with the rest of the time that he was here. His life was cut, short, and it was just really tragic.
Anyone else? Anyone else want to got any words for the Kobe situation?
I
Um,
think she wrapped it up pretty well.
yeah, nah, I ain't,
Of course, I'm a host,
He got him
uh,
right?
shook.
He's starting, Queen.
I
no,
Okay, go ahead.
no, I want to start. I want to start. But
I we
nah,
go ahead, Rell.
Kobe, it's crazy because
Hello.
Kobe is like the perfect example of like an
We hear you.
alternative black man. Yo, he represented like the other side of this. Like it's like Shakira said, he was from Italy. Like this guy's from all over the place. He's not like a traditional American black dude. And like a lot of stories, like I watched a lot of YouTube where Kobe tried to find a lot of acceptance with a lot of the NBA players that he was around. And of course a lot of the NBA, they was cookie cutter people from America. They went through the same, stuff we went through. And of course Kobe had to live up to Jordan, and he was nothing like Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He was so different in a sense. And he's the closest thing we got to Jordan, and he's the closest that's respected, to Jordan. So like, that's saying a lot. I don't even think Jordan would get this much love somehow because he was humble as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But still skilled as fuck. Like it's something special about him, and people ain't even gonna begin to appreciate how good of a person he was until like a few years from now when somebody like Jordan passed and it's like, oh well, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? But nah, that the dude was different. You know.
Anyone else got any words about Kobe? All right. Dira says she here for all the smoke, y'all. Boom, she in the room.
I wish Dira was here.
Yeah,
Hi,
Dira could
Shaneta.
join
Hi,
in.
hi, Keisha.
Hey, Pooh.
But
Jeff.
we gonna start this topic with characteristics of a bad man or woman. And I like to always be the shit starter and figure out who gonna be first. Let's go uh with Shanita.
Why you got to start with me? Why I just can't go last? You got a lot of clowns, but anyway. So one of the things that is the most bitter is a dude that never fucked you, but stay
Mm,
talking shit about you.
mm.
Those be the worst. They be the worst. You never had ass, but you talking shit about somebody. Like, move along. You missed your boat. I can't stand them.
Woo! I wasn't expecting that smoke.
Yeah.
So Shanita, he is not only bitter, but he's in that sassy class from last week.
Wait a minute.
Little gathering going on.
We
Little.
here? We here?
Yeah, I'm.
All right.
I'm here.
All right, until
Oh.
Shanita's froze up for a second, but until she come back, Shakita, no, Rel, what
Mhm.
you got to say about that? Like, is that a characteristic? What Shanita's made a point. Would you say that's a characteristic of a bitter man?
Um, I mean, honestly, they shouldn't even be having that conversation unless you really out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be sharing story. Like, you shouldn't be able to share stories between, a female between with the next dude. They shouldn't even know you out there enough for them to even share stories or share conversation like that. So I want to say that's a bitter man, but like that's just a product of the hood. Like everybody know each other, and
All right, my
people
bad.
go
I'm
people
sorry.
gonna talk. People gonna talk, and some people gonna feel like it's lies, but some people reputation precedes them. So I want.
Well, Anthony, what you missed, Shanita had made a point about one of the characteristics of a bitter man is a dude that always want to talk shit, and he ain't never have sex with the female. He basically hating from the sideline, for lack of better words. You agree with that, Anthony? Your your volume all messed up. Shakita, go ahead. Anthony, we can't hear you.
I hear what
Is he
Shanita is
talking?
saying.
Go ahead,
I hear what
Shakita.
Shanita is saying. And I've been through a lot of situations where and I'm commenting on Shanita, what Shanita's saying. I've been in situations where I thought me and the guy was friends. We was cool. Whatever happened is it was over. And he talked about me like a dog to my friend for no reason. And I'm the kind of person where um, it bothered me so much that I called him on the phone. And I called him. He's like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" So I called him on the phone, and we had this back and forth. And I asked him, I said, "Why would you do that?" I said, "Why would you do that?" I said, "This is my best friend, so you knew she was going to tell me. But why did you do it anyway? Like, we were cool." And he just openly said, just your personality and the way you carry yourself. I felt like you look down on me, and you made me like, you look down on me. And I was like, yeah, but how often do men and women encounter one another and you just become friends? Nothing comes out of it. Like, why would you go around just talking
Right.
about me for absolutely no reason? Like, what was that about? And all he
Exactly.
could say was that, he assumed that I was probably out talking about him, or he assumed that I felt, that I had this kind of I thought I was better than him attitude toward him. And I was like, how? Like, it was all made up in his head. It was all what his perception of what happened was. And I think a lot of that comes from when certain people can't deal with you not wanting to be bothered with them anymore.
Or you don't want them that way.
You don't want them that way, or they're used to getting a certain amount of attention from, a man or a woman, and they're no longer getting that from you. A
All right,
lot of times it causes them to be bitter.
Rel
let me
wants some
let
of the
me
smoke in
let
here.
me let me interject. Like sometimes, just from my experience, if a dude comes, and say something to your best friend, a lot of times he can't say that to you directly. So he kind of like sending a message to you. You know what I'm saying? So
Then he's a
it's almost
coward.
like what you say?
I
She
said
said
he's a
that
coward.
he's a
Like, why would
coward.
you be scared to
I don't
talk
I don't
to
think it's a
a
coward
female
because
that's your friend?
yeah, but sometimes like it's to you. So I don't think it's a coward because some people they duck in the conversation.
I
And
think
sometimes,
I
you
think
know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
that I think that could be the case when you're dealing. I think that could be the case in some situations, but I think from what me and Shanita is talking about is simply because it was nothing. It was very cut and dry. Nothing happened. Whatever happened between us was done. We were still really cool. We still socialized.
Still cool.
If I saw him
friends.
out, we said what's up. Right. He was kicking my back in as if something had happened between us and nothing ever happened. I see men do it to other men. I've had men come to me and kick another man's back and for absolutely no reason other than he's
that's
bitter
two
about
levels.
something and he wants to, you know, I don't be knowing what be wrong with these people, but it happens all the time.
No, talk about it.
This is not my boyfriend. This was not my boyfriend.
So y'all saying that
we was cool. People be crazy.
This first characteristic is basically someone who just want to talk shit about a female, a man that want to talk shit about a female, and it's like, why are you talking about me? Because I don't want you. Or
sometimes it's just a matter of I can't have you, and I don't understand why I could not have you, and I'm mad about that. You know, sometimes it's just as simple as that. Just like when a girl see a guy talking to you, she's like, "Oh, I used to talk to him." When?
Right.
In the third grade?
Beat it.
Nobody's doing that.
Right.
Nobody's doing that with you. That was a long time ago. He barely remembers. But why would you even come back and tell somebody that? It's just it's the bitterness, and a lot of the and one of those is because I can't have you. I'll talk shit about you because I can't have you. And I tell it. I was talking to my friend recently where he was like, "Oh, I would never want to be with somebody who I walk in the door with her, and every man in the room knows her. Every man in the room can say something about her." I said, "You need to be very careful. You need to be very careful though when men want to volunteer something about a woman, especially if she has her shit together. A lot of times this could just simply be because he could not have her." Be mindful of what you're listening to and be mindful of what somebody's telling you. Because people ain't out here trying to look out for you that damn hard. You done walked in the door with somebody that you really like and you're really interested in. And all of a sudden you get stories from all off the top of the hill. A lot of times that's just because those people or that one person could not have her. And all you need is for one person to start to gossip and then the next person to be like, yeah, I heard that too. Now you so damn slow because men swear they want the purest of the pure. They'll listen to
But she also got to be a freak. She got to be all of those things, but she got to be pure. You can't be both.
They literally shop
no, that's
for
a whole
none.
Other topic.
They shop for none, but want a hoe in the bed. But we'll
talk about it. We're here for all the smoke today.
But my point is, one of those characteristics of being bitter is I could not have you, and a lot of times no relationship has even started. Nothing has even happened. Like Shaneta said, they didn't even sleep. What if you don't even sleep with these people and they do this? It's ridiculous.
All right. So listen, like that's like rumors, right?
But y'all listen. If a man says something about a woman, men listen.
Everybody listens if you say anything about somebody. Like
women
usually the rumors are based around
is the consensus
one type of fact.
Is the consensus that qualifies as a bitter man?
That's a bitter man.
That's a bitter man.
But you can't say that's always bitter. Sometimes it's just factual, but it sounds bitter because it's public.
No, so it's bitter.
Man.
No.
I think it qualifies as bitter.
Yeah,
like
y'all,
because they're feeling some type of way is what I'm getting from the conversation. Oh, like, well, why didn't she sleep with me? Or they're bitter. They're in their feelings.
Y'all talking about you talking about people. She talking about somebody who she dealt with. You talking about somebody who's rumored to deal with.
No, it was like me and you are friends in whatever kind of capacity. Maybe I'm looking at it as a platonic friendship. You're looking at it as something different. Then you go back and tell someone, like that, and it's going to get back to me like, we haven't slept together or we haven't this week. That's a bitter person. They're trying to understand why they couldn't cross the finish line with you. Am I right?
Because a lot of the times they want to get together and let me link up with this dude or this person and that person. It's even females who do that. Like, they'll talk shit about a nigga, about a dude, and just because they didn't get paid from that guy or that dude didn't take her out or didn't do like, oh, I heard he ain't shit. Stop listening to other people. You're bitter. You don't miss out on a good thing.
Anthony, could you hear us? You can hear us, Anthony?
Yeah.
He delayed.
All right, yours delayed. I don't know why I can't hear
Yeah,
you
I'm
that
here.
good.
Yeah, I'm
Did
here.
you hear? Did you hear the crux
Yeah.
of the conversation? Did you hear the crux of the conversation
You hear
about
me
the?
now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talking about the dude that's bitter from rejection. The cause is the rejection. The symptom is the bitterness, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes,
The cause and
yes.
effect.
The cause is the rejection
There,
because some of us,
there we
some of
go,
us could
Quentin.
take.
That's how it goes.
I mean, some of us could take rejection, and some of us can't. I mean,
Right.
if somebody feel like they check all the boxes and then they get rejected, they like, damn, that's a stroke on
Bruh.
the ego.
Right.
That's why them,
Exactly.
that another topic, but that's why them inboxes be jumping like that.
Man,
Well,
listen.
Hey,
Honey.
hey, Anthony,
Mm.
could you hear us, Anthony?
Oh, he's so cute.
What's up?
Tell us, give us a characteristics of a bitter woman. No, give us a characteristic of a bitter woman.
um, well,
One.
I'm saying, like, to me, it's like an inability. It's an inability to trust. Like, I'm saying, you see it flat out. Like, if it's from a woman, and they're you're gonna see they're gonna it's almost like a stay away vibe. Try to
Hmm.
they're gonna be complete. But I gotta put it like this, like, not share culpability. Men act like queen, cause I'm saying, because time when we was younger, what I'm saying, the female to be ready on our terms. But then again, flip side, as a woman, you say you want, then
You keep delaying, Ant.
I mean,
You keep delaying.
because you're not ready, or you feel you're not ready. You feel all men are the same. So I'm just going off of that. Both sides. I
Rel,
think both
I
Rel.
sides
can,
share a
yeah.
blame. You know what I'm
I
saying?
feel.
Before anybody respond, Anthony's statement sound a lot like what Rel
Huh?
was saying the other day. Like how a
What did
lot
he
of
say?
people, like people holding like resentment from something in the past to right what's going on in the present. Am I correct, Rel?
Right.
Again,
And honestly,
Hold up, Ant.
nah, what you saying, and is correct. Like, and the whole thing about it is our
yeah,
community is
my feed
like feel.
like I can't hear.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Our community is filled with females that just feel that way. Like they just feel like,
Hey, Ant.
and
One of the brothers in the queue said, "Man, that Sprint phone hit different."
tell no disrespect, Sprint. Tell no disrespect, Sprint. But look, but no, like that's how it is. Honestly, the niggas ain't shit narrative. That's where that shit come from. Like just that bitter female who felt like she's dealt with so many niggas that done her wrong, but it's like, yo, mom, you choosing them. Each one of y'all females in this chat, in this live, got about 15, 18, 25 niggas that y'all could have had that had
The
good
fuck?
jobs, good lives, and good shit going on. But this is what y'all chose. This is what y'all chose. So how you bitter?
he always doing the most.
How you bitter?
If I had
Wait.
15, 20
So
niggas,
Rel,
I wouldn't be on this
Rel,
on this
Rel,
computer.
hey
I'll
Rel,
be adding up my bills and
Listen.
stuff.
You got 15,
hey
20, I'm
Rel,
35, 15.
hey Rel.
What's up?
So you saying that a lot of the women, the characteristics of a bitter woman is she keep talking about, oh, niggas ain't shit, this, that, and the third, but she ain't looking at herself because she's the picker.
Exactly.
She chose these dudes.
Exactly. If I made a fucked up choice, honestly, I'm putting that shit on me. You know what I'm saying? Now a lot of people don't. They'll go and say it just ain't. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, when you get to a certain age, it's like, let's say, I'm 36. You hit 40, and you still ain't really rock out with nobody for a long, long time. Like you really should at least have a few years of relationship with somebody by then. If you ain't had that yet, I know some people my age they ain't got a year in with nobody, and they still saying people ain't shit. Like, come on, you
Well,
gotta
yeah, that's
start
just sad.
internally looking.
Yes, everybody has to be
I
accountable
think the
for
word
the
that you're
words
using
that
is
they see.
wrong.
Yeah.
The
If
what?
I think because you're saying like resentment, but it's not. I mean, like bitter. They're not bitter. I feel it's like women, some women who say niggas ain't shit. Yes, it's true. It's a choice of who they pick. But if
Right.
you are, I used to be married. So I don't know how to treat my boyfriend like he's just my boyfriend. I treat my boyfriend and that's how I rock with him. Now, when I go into a relationship, I don't cheat while I'm in a relationship. What the fuck y'all niggas do when y'all in it and I'm single, that's y'all business. It ain't got shit to do with me. Hey,
Okay.
you owe her something, not me. But
But you
at the
should. You
same
saying the
time,
right thing.
when you put your all into a relationship and it don't work, yeah, sometimes you do look back at it and say, hey, who the fuck is okay? Yeah, like, hey, what did I do wrong? But then also there are some times I wouldn't call that bitter. I would call it just they're hurt. They're protecting their heart. They're protecting a part of themselves. Now, you talking about women saying niggas ain't shit. We had one hot girl summer, but we've been bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks since like the 80s. So the fuck? We
But
got
that,
one summer and now
but
we ain't shit.
but defense, but defense is bitter. Any type of defense is
Is it?
bitter because that mean
Is it?
that mean you still holding on to pain. You still
Yeah.
gotta taste it. You still got a bitter taste in your mouth from your last situationship.
Relationship or whatever. Yeah.
Honestly,
Well, you got.
honestly, you gotta put your
I'm
head on
saying.
the net. You gotta put your head on the noose every time you step into something in order for you not
I'm
to be
saying
bitter.
in my opinion. I'm saying in my opinion. I think women hold on to pain longer than guys. Like, you know what
Mm,
I'm saying?
That's
Like
our
a
community.
guy,
mm.
we could break up with a girl, we could be done with a girl. We might go through a day or two or something like that, and then we be out in the streets again, ready to go at it again. Women,
I ain't gonna say
I think
that.
they'll hold on to that shit for a lot longer.
Well, let's be
For
clear
a
here
lot
about
longer.
that. Let's be clear about that. When y'all get broke up with, you be homesick.
It
Everybody do
depends.
it.
I'm
Mhm.
gonna
It
agree
And
with
let me
her.
tell
depends.
you
It
something. And let
depends.
me tell you something.
Shakira, explain that.
It's a
Shakira,
different
explain that sickness. Explain that
child.
sickness. Go and
It's
explain. They start
it's different.
stalking. Get
It's
it. Bring it.
different.
Bring it. Don't hold
I
back.
am. It's real different when you are in control of who you want to be with. I like
Right.
it's when I could tell you I've broken up with you. When I'm done, I'm done. I can go off
I'm
into the
done.
sunset and go about my business and live my life. As my dad say, the best way to get over a man is to get underneath another one.
Done.
It just life moves on. Life moves on. But I tell you what, when
That'll
y'all break
work.
up with the woman,
That'll
when
work.
y'all break up with a woman, y'all go right out in them streets and y'all find you another one. Before you divorce is final. You get a whole new wife. Every people when you are in
Oh
Man,
control
nah
of who you,
nah
yes I
nah.
do, yes I do. When you can, when you are in control of of the breakup, you recover a lot better. When you have somebody break up with you,
you
it's
sure do.
sometimes it's heart wrenching. A lot of times you just can't
It is.
you can't deal with it. It's a lot to deal with. And it makes
So
it seem like more women are bitter, but you see women all over the news. Can't break up with nobody, can't leave nobody. He losing his mind, coming to the
Shot in the
house,
face.
assaulting you, shooting you, killing you, kidnapping you.
You
Everybody
obviously never
who is
got
not in
snatched.
control of the breakup deals with it harder.
I think Tyler Perry done put a bad narrative on the people. But
Yeah.
anyway,
I
right?
believe so too.
Listen, I know we don't want the topic to just be on relationship bitterness. We just talking about the characteristics of a bitter man. Like it could have his bitterness, a man's bitterness could be affecting his job,
Let
could
me
be affecting his relationships
exactly.
with his friends. I don't want y'all to
No,
just think we talking about relationships. We
it
So,
talk
ain't that. The only time a man is really bitter is when you start hitting his check and his livelihood. Now I can
okay.
tell you this:
No, he not. Be quiet.
if
No, you're
yo
lying.
in the community, that child support hit different. That shit start affecting you when you start dealing with kids and you got to start paying for shit on top of living your own life. then you start living with bitterness. But like women deal with it on emotions. We deal with it in livelihood. You know what I'm saying? So like that's why when you go on social media, you'll hear motherfuckers, fuck that bitch, nah, she people on child support, this and that. Like that's where we got that shit from. See, y'all
Y'all,
shout the niggas we ain't shit, but we shout the that bitch put me on child support. You know what I'm saying?
y'all mad when y'all are
But
bitter for all kinds of reasons, relationship reasons. I know men who are jealous of their friends because their male friends get promotions and they don't, and they're bitter
That's money.
and they kick their backs in. I see
That's
men. I
manhood.
see
That's
men who
money.
are jealous. I see men who are jealous of their friends who get married. I see men who are jealous of their
Exactly.
friends
You
because they
seen
get the
that?
woman they
I ain't
can't
never
get.
see that.
But see, that's like men get jealous over accomplishments because we competitive against like to each other. But we don't get like bitter. We're not now. You know, of course, things happen, but we don't get bitter toward women.
I just know,
I feel like men don't tell the
I just
truth.
know.
And anytime you
Lying. It's a
bring,
lie.
anytime you
I think,
present,
go ahead,
I
Anthony.
just think this, men. I think men are very direct. We're very direct with certain things. Like I know, like if I want everything to be flat out playing on the board with me. Like if you're fucking with me, you're fucking with me. If you're not, you're not. I need to know that from the door so I could move on. You know what I'm saying? Or do what I need to do, or know how I need to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Either way, like I've never like I've been to weddings, I've been in weddings, I'm married, and I've never seen any of my people, any of my boys been jealous that I got married. In fact, and
You don't know what
they
they
was happy,
jealous of because some niggas
like
they will
Tom
kick your
said,
whole back in.
yeah, they
not do
telling
this,
us.
not do that. I've
Right.
never
They
seen it.
telling us. They not gonna tell you. Do you know how many dudes be in my inbox talking about their best friend?
Talk
It's
about it.
Y'all, they not gonna come to y'all. They not gonna come to their
Tell
homeboy
it.
and be like, oh, he with such and such, or he got this job. He think he the shit because he got this new promotion, or he bought this new car, and he got niggas hate on you more than females do, but they not gonna come to you. At least a bitch is gonna be like, damn, I know that bitch don't like me.
it's not marriage direct.
I
It's
Yeah, but
your
seen
that's the
cat
worst
accomplishment.
kind of
like
hater.
Jeff said,
And that's because men
dudes
swear they so
dudes
perfect.
hate on dudes hate on accomplishments and things. I don't think
And
they
on
hate
their
on
women.
like they
All
don't
right,
hate on
we got to
So
we
I
got to
have
things.
a,
we got
They hate
I
we
on
got
got
a
a
couple.
question.
accomplishments.
Hold on, Keish. We got a couple
Okay.
statement. We got
The
a couple statements
dude,
from the
I think
people
the
watching. Hold up,
dude would
man.
hate on a car for hate
Hey,
on somebody have
hey
first
Jeff.
before
Hey
anything.
Rell.
Yeah.
Somebody wanted me to say that it's a lot of men out here that got female in them. And Kevin had a
Man,
statement and said, everyone makes good points, but I believe it all depends on your previous relationships. Either you're going to grow and learn from it, or you're going to get the same thing. Find someone else, and it may be worse. Now, we're gonna finish going on. Name some more characteristics. Whoever, Keisha, go ahead. Don't forget to like,
So,
subscribe, all that good stuff, y'all. Keep the questions coming in.
um, people who generalize,
Woo,
do you think that that's
you about to have me bucking, girl.
a trait
Woo.
of a bitter person? Like if you say like the whole
The
Essex
whole Essex
County
County.
females are low budget, uneducated.
Yeah.
Would that make you a bitter person, like a bitch in North broke your heart, like
No. Hold on. Because
or I'm
I
not
know this
Keisha
finished.
pulled
I'm
them
directed.
not
guns
finished.
Hold
out.
on. I know
I'm
this
not
directed.
finished.
I know this directed at me. So I'm
No,
gonna take this head
that's
on.
why I'm not
I'm
finished.
gonna
I'm
take
not
it head
finished.
on. I'm gonna take it head on.
What?
But
No,
my
it's
point,
because it's not direct. It's
Wait,
twofold.
it
hey,
It's
depends on
listen.
the
twofold.
conversation. It
Remember,
depends on.
No,
y'all.
Go
it's
It's
because
ahead.
six.
it's
All right, go ahead.
It's six of us. It's six of us in the queue. We all
uh
can't. We all can't talk
like
at the same time.
right. So like big women, who generalize like he or dark skinned women. He only likes light skinned girls,
Yeah.
or he now they only like foreign and exotics, or like where Monique used to say, skinny bitches are evil. Like when you generalize like that, see, I
Mhm.
wasn't just coming for you. Is that a characteristic of a bitter person?
It depends on the conversation. Like some of the shit is silly, and some of the shit is very direct. You know what I'm saying? When it's like indecent, like that, like where that come from? Of course, I think it's better. Like, come on. But when we just
Man,
having
this has been a whole.
conversation, sometimes shit is just true. You know what I
What
mean?
do the rest of you guys
It's
think?
it's funny. It's just this and this is there's a whole there's been a whole these bitter women. Perry movies are built on bitter women. Have to, you know what I'm saying?
Tyler Perry does all his own
Like
writing. You know
saying
that, right? He's a man.
the whole white
But he's
woman.
selling to woman.
He's a man. He talks about his own
Like they've
experiences.
been making money.
No, he ain't.
They've been making money off the pain of women for years,
It sells.
for decades, and they keep feeding into that shit.
Who is they?
Okay, so the
Y'all.
Man, it's wild.
generalization Keisha was talking about.
Look at that. Mhm.
Right. So what do
Guys,
you
so,
two think? Shanita and Shakita, what do you guys think? Do you think that that's a characteristic of a bitter man or woman, a bitter person?
Yes. Yeah, and I feel like my
Absolutely.
man Anthony down here, down in this corner, proved the point. He literally came right in and said they've been making money, millions of dollars
Oh,
off
y'all.
of bitter black women for years. I have barely seen any Tyler Perry movies.
I think I've
And
seen two.
anytime I hear any man say that, it burns me up because his theaters and his playhouses are not filled with just black women. There
It's
are men there.
elder
These
black
men,
women.
these men,
Well,
there
go
are men
ahead.
there. There are couples there. People go for dates. I can't stand it. It's the one generalization. It's a new one. It's a new one. I can't stand it. Oh, Tyler Perry. Medea is his grandmother. Them women are based off of his families. Those are his experiences. I don't, and I can't relate to any of them. But it's entertainment, and I feel like there's a place for everybody in the entertainment world. You know, white people make all kinds of movies, sci-fi, all kinds of shit. Tyler Perry make his movies. You got all kinds of that cannot be the root cause of why women or black women are the way that they are. Men take absolutely no responsibility for anything
And
they
that's the
ever
root.
do or contribute to the black woman. It gets on my
But where
nerves.
that come
It
from?
gets on my nerves.
Where did it
Everything
come
is how do
from?
you completely blame Tyler Perry movies for for women and what they do? The generalization of that irks me to the core. I
Ain't
can't
no,
Okay,
stand
okay,
it.
okay. Let me, let me,
my
let me.
people said ain't no grown man checking for Tyler Perry.
Boom. He's a
They
real
be in
nigga.
there.
He's a
That's
real
no.
nigga.
They be in there though.
They be in there.
I
Do a lot
I
of
don't.
play. Watch one.
Y'all watch
We
it. They
could
tuning in the
listen.
Greenleaf.
We could definitely
They
critique.
tuning in the Greenleaf
We
every
could
week.
definitely do a show on Tyler Perry movies. But Shanita, what you feel about generalization? Back to Keisha's question.
It absolutely is a bitter person who would generalize everything. Like saying, like the first thing that comes to my mind is when a black man say, "I don't like black women because all black women eat shit," or I only deal with this type of woman. I only like light skin or like, whatever. When you do that, that's just because you had a bad experience with a particular type of person or a situation, and now we all are lumped into this whole fucked up ass category. And I'm not bitter. I'm not gonna burn your shit down unless you fuck with me and you give me reason to. I will kill you. Don't play
Okay,
with me.
okay, okay, okay,
But
okay. Now,
but
now, 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 now. Let's take it ahead.
Jeff, like, no, calm down now.
Now. What I'm saying is that generalizations work. Why don't you fuck with white men,
who
Shanita?
don't?
Shanita, why don't you fuck with white men?
I fuck with white men. I fuck with whoever
How
fucks
many
with
white men
me.
have you dealt with?
Two.
Okay,
Two.
two out of how many black men?
But here's the thing. You act like I have a choice in who wants me back. That's the difference. I
You're a
can want
woman. You
whoever
have
the fuck
a
I
choice.
want. But if you don't want me, I can't make them want me. That's the difference. My thing is I am open to whoever fucks with me. I'm not closed minded. I'm not gonna only fuck with. I only want black men. That's not my preference. I love who loves me. That's just what it is. At one point, If you want black as tar, I couldn't fuck with you, Paul. Hey,
But what
but
is your taste? Like we bring up, we have different tastes because we
everyone
have
has taste, but
generalizations.
I don't have a physical taste in persons. Every person that I have been with in my life is different. My
Okay,
boyfriend now, he is high yellow and skinny. I
okay.
never used to date with high yellow skinny niggas. My niggas always be meaty
So you
because
got a
I ain't little.
generalization at some point.
They're not. It's just they've always been that way. They'll be white and heavy. They will be dark skinned. They will be tall. They could be short. I've dated all types of men. I've dated old. I've dated younger than me. I date whoever makes me happy at that moment. And if
And
you're
all of that
making me
is
happy,
fine. All of that is
right,
fine as long as you are not dogging somebody else
someone else out.
for that
Exactly.
reason. That's where the generalization
Exactly.
comes in, and it's wrong. You know, all black
Exactly.
women, all the miserable black women like Tyler Perry. That's when it's wrong.
Right.
Hey,
All of you know, I only like light skinned men because dark skinned men are ugly. That's when it's wrong. That's when the
That
generalization comes in.
Exactly.
that shit is totally different. So
But that's
I
when it's
feel y'all on
wrong.
that.
That's when
That
it's wrong. That's when it's wrong.
I mean, it's not wrong because people have their preferences, and preferences are okay.
It is what it
Keisha,
is. Right.
Keisha,
Yes.
could you explain to our illustrious panel why you asked that question?
Oh, because according to psychology today, a characteristic of a bitter person is a person who generalizes.
Mhm.
That's too. That's
You don't know that, Jeff, because you the statistics king.
that's too.
We
No,
dealing with the data right now, Jeff.
all right,
We dealing with the
let
data.
me respond to that. Let me respond to that. You can't say that. There's
I
no
didn't say
there's
that. That's
no
what the psychologist said.
what
I
psychologist?
mean,
Hey, Jeff,
it,
you need
We
to.
know it ain't
Hey,
Jeff.
hey,
What
hey, Rel,
psychologist?
don't tell me you need to sit down on that couch, Rel.
But what psychologist?
Get him a pillow.
Psychology Today. That's a important
But
magazine that
listen.
psychologists use. I mean,
It's
I
a
don't know.
difference.
The periodical, sir.
You gotta have context on what you're talking about.
But
You know,
hey,
it's
Rel,
general.
Rel,
We do have
Rel,
contact. We're
I'm
having a
gonna give
What's
conversation.
up?
I'm gonna give you a example, Rel.
Hmm.
I gave you two though.
You said Essex and Union County women.
Right.
What?
Our last talk. That was a generalization
Mm-hmm.
because
Who
Okay.
hurt
What
you?
else?
if it would have been reversed, a stigma or a stereotype about Essex and Union County men, you would have refuted it quick like me.
No. Go ahead. But
Who
No.
hurt?
hold up. All right, but let me talk. So what you're saying is that if a woman said I don't deal with Essex County or Union men because they act a certain way, then you saying that would have been a bitter thing for a woman to say. So you're saying in that case that would have been a bitter thing for a man to say, right? So pause. Now I'm gonna stop y'all there. Now, when you're talking about dealing with somebody that you like or you dealing with somebody that you fuck with, you're dealing with a preference. You know what I'm saying? And in that case, when you're dealing with a preference of a person, I mean, it's not bitter because it's like you
But
like
why is what is the
you like
basis
what you
of your
like. So
preference?
I'm gonna give you an example. I don't fuck with white women. I'm not bitter against white women. I just like what I like. You know what I'm
But
saying?
okay, so that's a preference, which is different.
Right.
But
So that
what?
doesn't make you
But
bitter.
so wait, let me ask you something.
It's a lot of shots
Okay.
How
being
did
fired.
you?
Listen, it's
How?
some shots being
Wait,
fired in the
Quentin. Let
chat.
me just ask. How did you come to that conclusion?
It's,
Right.
That I don't like white women.
No, Essex
Yeah.
County. Who hurt you? Because that was a
But
generalization.
that was a question.
but I never said that. I never said that. We make an example.
Oh, I'm a
I just
co-host today.
hold
You
on.
might
You
All I
said
just
that
know.
last week, sir.
no, hold on. Pause. Let me talk. Let me
Somebody
talk.
run that footage.
No, hold on. Let me talk. So I never said that. I said there's a different behavior between the two. So of course there's a preference, and people are gonna have different preferences. So when I
You
approach,
can listen. You can have a preference and not knock a
I don't.
whole
I can
line of
always
people.
no. I can always have a preference.
Right.
I
So
always
you're
know what I'm
confusing
dealing
the
with.
two though. You're
I always
confusing the two. You
no
can
no no.
have a
I'm not
preference.
confusing
I
this.
can have a preference to I like white men. That's my preference. But I'm
Okay.
not gonna knock black men. I got a black father, I got a black brother, I got cousins, I got
That's also your preference.
but that's different than
You,
generalizing a
but
whole
you talking
demographic.
about two different. That's two
No,
different
you are.
conversations.
No,
When you
you
talking
are.
about it,
What
but when
I
you
know what I no, you are. You
All
are.
right, all right,
let
all
me
right. We're
just
gonna.
speak. Let me just
All right,
speak.
only one person got to talk so we can everybody can get heard.
So it's two different conversations when you talking about a preference, and then there's context when you talking about generalizing. Like if
But
we
when you
talking about if we talking about how two different neighborhoods act, that's totally different from your
we're
preference
at,
in
she's
relationship.
asking you, but she's
Because
asking you, why did you
I have,
generalize that
yo,
whole
but
area?
that has nothing
She's
to do with
asking
like
you,
bitterness.
she's saying
Because I have no
she
bitterness towards
Okay.
her. I have no bitterness towards white women, but I don't want to deal with them. So
But
she
why?
asked you she asked you a
Yeah,
question.
I
She
don't know
asked you a question.
why you're taking it to white women. You can have a preference, but
that's
you're
an
not
example.
knocking. But okay, so listen to what I'm saying. As long
Okay.
as you're not knocking all white women,
I'm
then
kind of
you're not
knocking them by
gener.
saying I don't want to
No,
deal
you're
with them.
not. That no, you're
Mm.
Hey,
I
not. You're
don't want to
saying
deal with them.
no,
That's the worst. That's the worst
no,
Well,
hold
I
on.
preference.
guess what it
Oh,
is,
no,
just to,
but
no.
all
Jack,
right, we're gonna bring it
so
back.
so the issue is
All I'm gonna say with this issue is Big Ha said dating within your own county. LOL.
You know what I mean?
All right,
Child.
do y'all got any
I don't
more
even date within my own state, so
any
I'm just gonna let
any
it go.
honey.
any
So
more
you got a
good
preference too. You know these niggas dirty.
any,
I don't have not true.
Savior
I
Hitler,
don't have
Savior
I
Hitler.
date what I like. I've dated all types of men. Right now I only strictly date black men, but you'll never hear me knocking a white guy because I've dated white guys. I've dated Puerto Rican guys.
But
So
it's
that's
just
a
not
gift.
knocking.
So but yeah, you are when yeah, you are.
It's not
I don't know.
generalizing is not knocking. Sometimes it's a preference.
Let me give you something else that I saw on psychology today because Quentin had me doing some research.
yeah, we want to bring some data here, man. Because a lot
Um,
of times, wait a second, Keisha. Because a lot of times we may not realize that we're bitter.
right.
I'm just
Right.
speaking. Now
I
this is
generalize a lot.
you know
I
what I mean.
generalize a lot. That's
But
an
me
issue.
liking not liking white women is proof that it's not bitterness. Sometimes generalization becomes preference. I don't want to deal with white women. I love white women, but I don't want to deal with them. You
Like the
cool over
women in
there.
Essex County.
You cool over there, but you ain't cool with me. But I still love y'all.
And that, see, that I
Like the women in
understand
Essex
that. But I
County.
guess what Keisha's trying to say to you is you can have a preference, but why is your preference? Like, what's the basis of your preference? Like, there's some people who say, I don't,
It,
what, you gonna let me talk now? Or what we
I
gonna
guess,
do? So,
yeah.
so you can
That's
say,
fine.
I don't want to date white women, and that's fine, but you're not knocking a white woman. You're just saying, I don't like them. But if you said, I don't like white women because all white women is trash, or all they trying to do is get you hemmed up, that's when the bitterness comes in. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
No,
what's the basis for your
you're
preference?
very correct, and you're absolutely correct.
Keisha dropped
And
her
I've
mic.
But
never
that's what
made them statements. In
but
fact, I
that's
would deal. In fact, I would deal with an Asian woman if it so happened to happen. But my preference, if I'm going into a bar and I so happen to see that woman,
Ant dropped.
I'm just like my attention is not there, but that doesn't mean I don't like her. You know what I'm saying?
yes, Jeff. But what Keisha was asking you was last week you made a generalization about women from Essex County.
Right, but
And
that's a whole nother
but
context.
but you made a generalization of them. And when she said that people, there's a statistic that says generalizing people is a form of bitterness.
Okay,
The way
now
you
hold up.
let me finish. The way you
Go ahead.
generalized them last week
Mhm.
offended quite a few people because there are people who are from Essex County who said there is nothing wrong with us. We can find love. We can find men who have money. We can black men who have money like us. There's
Y'all.
nothing. Let me finish. Let me finish.
All right.
This is what these people were feeling, and this is what they were thinking. So when she brought, I know you don't care, but when she brought up the the topic, that's why she mentioned it because that's what, and that's also why she said, "Who hurt you?" And that's what she's talking about. So if you're saying nobody hurt me, I just that's my general because you were saying that you had statistics. You were saying that it was true.
All right. All right.
So that's
Let me
why she was asking.
let's all right. Let's shut this conversation down. Like every conversation is going to be like context. Like, what are we talking about? Relationships is different from the conversation. So the conversation last week was based upon like behavior and how Essex County people, as opposed to Union County people, act. How what's down Trenton? Whatever Trenton County people act different than Essex County. We all have different behaviors. You know what I'm saying?
But we were talking about generalization. And,
That's the
and you
same
were
generalization.
generalizing those people. So generalizing anything or
Hey,
anyone can be a
Keita,
form of bitterness.
Keita,
No,
a couple people got some questions for you, Rell.
okay.
A little bit of statements, bro.
Mhm.
A couple people messing with you saying about you saying this because you from Orange.
That's Essex County.
Then there's somebody saying
We probably the worst town out.
there's
You know what
somebody
I mean?
saying there's somebody said telling you stop being offended. Life is too short. They said what somebody's county got to do with their worthiness.
Right.
Well, hold on. You gotta
Right.
understand, like, yo, it's just like I don't know if people understand. Like, money counts. If you raised in a house where your father has $1 million worth of net worth, you're going to go into a relationship expecting different than a person whose father had a zero net worth and was in prison. You know what I'm saying? Your whole outlook on family, your whole outlook on expectations is going to be totally different, which is what I was trying to say.
When
It's not a down on women, it's not a down on men. It's
Hey,
just a
we got a brother that's in the queue, man. He
yeah.
in the chat. He originally from Orange, moved to Vauxhall, certified CPA. He disagreed with that statement, Rel.
But
I do too.
but of course, there's a certified CPA. But let's ask that man where the rest
can
of
y'all
his
hear me real quick?
classmates at.
Yes.
Oh,
You feel me?
Yeah.
I will say all
Can
his
y'all hear me?
classmates is all
Yes.
yeah, we can
We can hear
No,
you.
no. Let's be real. It's
all,
all his
Oh, you
classmates
can hear
all,
ain't.
me?
all his
All his
classmates
I
graduated
classmates
just
from
want to.
ain't.
college.
Hey, Q.
I can
I just
say
want to
all his
ask one
classmates.
question. I just want to ask one question. What
Go
does
ahead, Ed.
county have to?
Bye. Look,
Oh man.
bye.
He was getting
Let's just
good.
block him.
God
Someone type his
damn.
messages.
Let's
They
block
on
him.
they on
But
you,
the
Rel.
He
Ralph, you
was
can have whatever
excited.
opinion you like. You can have whatever
But
opinion
that's
you
the
like.
next
But when
step.
you start talking down on those people, granted their
Hold
net
on.
worth,
You talking about
granted they don't come from a household whose net worth is $1 million or whatever.
But most
But that
people
doesn't
don't
mean
come from a household of $1 million that came from Orange.
be
You
quiet
gotta
and
say,
listen to
you know
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying?
Be
So
quiet.
so wait, let me just give, because I don't know, I got kicked off. Some more characteristics. Someone
Yeah.
who likes
Pay
But we not
attention.
doing that. Y'all gotta understand. Y'all talking about minimal people. The people that's successful from Orange, right?
It just wasn't okay for you to generalize them. That's that.
okay.
It doesn't.
So
It doesn't.
Rev,
Hold on. Let me say this.
okay.
You're responding emotionally. I'm
No, I'm
responding
not.
statistically.
No, I'm not.
Statistically,
Look at it.
there's less people
Go ahead,
successful
Siri.
coming from Orange than Princeton, New Jersey. So you got to understand it's two different levels of family relationships. Understand,
Who that?
we as black people deal with a lot of shit throughout generations because of this simple fact that I'm talking about. Of course, there's people that survive. Of course, there's people that's very successful. Of course, we got Michael Jordan. We've got successful people. I'm not saying that people are
Okay.
not successful. Yo, I'm a fucking product of fucking success. Understand? I know that.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, most of the people around Orange deal with a certain level of trauma that the people in Princeton don't deal with. So when you step into a relationship with that person, you're dealing with demons that the Orange person has that you might have to deal with before y'all go into a happy relationship. So whereas the Princeton person deals with different demons on a different level. Uh, Sometimes it can be
Sir,
balanced.
I get
Sometimes it
what
can
you're
be just as
saying,
bad.
but if you want to get technical, trauma is
We're not
trauma.
gonna get technical because technical is emotional.
But
Statistical.
sir,
Let's go to statistical.
what you're saying is technical. You're saying
It's
you're
not
bringing up
technical.
Listen to what I'm saying. You're bringing up all of the people from Essex County's demons, and then you're talking about the people up from Princeton lives differently. Their demons could be drug abuse, sexual abuse,
It doesn't
murder, all
matter.
kinds of stuff. They still have trauma too. The bottom line was you generalizing
It's
all of
not the
those people from
same.
that particular area was wrong, and
Yo,
you didn't
listen,
do. You
listen, listen.
wasn't doing it in a positive
I'm gonna
light.
tell you.
You
I'm gonna
you
Well,
were
tell
not.
you like
well,
this, right?
well,
You were
can I,
not
can I,
doing it.
can,
A
Let's bring
person,
it back. Let's bring it
a
back, y'all.
person that
Let's
has
well,
a person that has a $500,000 net worth. Life is totally different
Well,
from a
Rel, Rel,
motherfucker
well,
that
You
got
know,
a zero
Joel.
well,
net worth.
Rel,
well,
Rel.
Joel,
We're
the
gonna
well.
generalization
we
made you
gonna
So
seem
we gonna
bad.
we
we're
gonna bring
gonna
it
go
back.
back to some other things that I learned
Keisha,
today.
Keisha, just 1 second. We got a couple questions in the chat. Rel, they said you out here making up your own data.
Word,
I
I'm
can
just
post this
you
data.
you
word.
you could you could Google it. You could
You
Google it.
can't be
Look,
serious.
that's what they said. They said
You
you making
can't
up.
be serious.
They said you making. Oh, yeah.
You
I'm
can't
just
be
I'm just
serious.
I'm just going what the people say.
I
Yo,
I'm
tried
just
to
going what
tell
the
him
people say.
last week.
no, so
And he's
hold
starting
on.
back up again.
I don't really, you know what I'm saying. I respect Q a lot. He's a very intelligent man. I spent some time with him. You know what I'm saying. And the thing is, I know his intellect, and I know he don't want to comment, and I know he respects what I
Oh,
say, and
oh,
I know he understands what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I understand. I understand
oh.
exactly what you're saying, but the thing is that Keisha brought the topic about one of the characteristics that psychologists say is a bitter individual. The first one that most of them say universally is generalization.
Right. But see, there
I just want everybody to know that I'm not saying I'm not bitter.
no,
I'm
but
not saying that.
we understand that, but there's context to generalization. There's like, for instance, you can't say that a statistics major is bitter because he comes up with statistics for a
Sir.
generalization of North Jersey and South Jersey. There's statistics about North Jersey that these people have a certain net worth over South Jersey people. That's just how the statistics. That's matter of fact, it's just facts. You know what I'm saying? So that person who comes to the differences of what those statistics are, he's
I'm ready to
not
move
bitter.
on.
That's just it is
So
what it
so
is.
You
so
stressing
Now,
me
if I
out.
so
say
let
if
me.
I say if I say something unrelated, like yo, I hate all black chicks because them bitches be wilding and white people is better. That's
You just said that
that's
people
very
from
much bitter.
Essex County, bye.
That's
I'm not
very
doing
much
Okay,
this no
bitter.
more.
okay.
I'm not doing
So
this no more.
another characteristic, my good brother Rell. Someone who doesn't listen and talks a lot.
All right, that's subjective. What is talk
I
a lot?
mean,
Well, I get it.
I've been trying to intercede for at least the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, but
Well, you
that's
can't pick
cool.
on Rel.
That's cool.
But
But sometimes,
I
like I
wasn't
said,
gonna beat on
you
I wasn't gonna beat
Listen,
up on him.
Keisha,
But
hey
that
Keisha,
yeah.
just 1 second. We're gonna reel it back, y'all. We're gonna try to grow. We
And
laughing
we
and we
can't beat
playing.
up on Rel.
We don't want nobody to think that it's
ain't
a
nobody
personal
beating up
attack
on
on nobody.
Rel.
But
Oh,
Y'all,
shut up.
oh,
y'all
she
gotta
just need a
understand
job.
context
But
before you come with
Keisha,
this shit.
Keisha,
Yeah.
that's
Yes.
the second one. Where are you getting this information from?
Um, Google Psychology Today.
Google.
Some psychology. Okay, wait a
Keisha.com.
minute. Psychology Today is a publication that psychologists use.
Mm.
I worked for a psychologist when I was in Maryland.
I
They
do
subscribe.
believe
Go ahead, Shakira.
I do believe that people who talk over other people and don't listen, that can be a characteristic of bitterness. Absolutely. And I'm gonna say it like, I'm gonna say it, and maybe Rel will be able to relate. But it's just like when men feel like all women do is talk,
Men.
talk, 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 talk. What?
Men.
Listen, when men feel as though all women do is talk, they don't listen, they're not taking any advice, they don't let us lead, they don't let us do this, they don't let us do that. I think a lot of that in that particular topic, I think a lot of that comes from women dealing with and going through a lot of things in life and not being able to really just step back and listen and say, maybe I do have a good man. Maybe I can listen a little bit. Maybe I can let him lead. Maybe I can let him take charge sometimes. I think when it comes to that particular statistic where Keisha said, people like to talk over you and not listen, I can definitely relate to that in that aspect.
They also say in information coming from conscious rethink, they like to hear the sound of their own voice.
Yeah.
Keisha,
Men.
I
go
mean,
ahead. Oh, go ahead, Rell.
what y'all like? Yo, context is kind of like the most important thing in every conversation, right? So there's a guy who you having a conversation with, and y'all trying to have a meeting of the minds, and he's talking over you because he doesn't respect your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? I respect all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? I respect you. I I respect all women, but sometimes it's like, you know what I'm saying? Certain things have different contexts which you can't apply certain sentences to. You know what I'm saying? Things that I'm saying is just statistics. Cool. But I understand what you're saying, Keisha. Like, what you're saying is right. A motherfucker that makes generalizations in certain contexts is usually, you know what I'm saying, he probably has some bitterness against. That's how racism started. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nah, fuck you. I don't care what you say. You know what I'm saying? All niggers is niggers, and that's it. But sometimes, like, that's not the same conversation as when you having statistics and you know this is this and this is this and it affects that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want y'all to think that I'm just saying. Look, listen, I'm from the hood. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been through the same traumas and dramas. So I understand what you're saying. And I love y'all. And I have respect for Shakira. I have respect for Keisha, whatever. So I don't think it's that. You know what I'm saying? But when I have a conversation about statistics and poverty, it's different than my feelings about women. I just told y'all, you know what I'm saying, I don't fuck with white women. It's not because I'm not bitter towards them. It's because I love black women. You know what I'm saying? But understand, that don't come from a place of bitterness. You know what I'm saying?
No,
that's,
no. I mean, to wrap that up, I think agreeing with Shakita, bitterness and not having the ability to listen or to talk over the people, I think, or generalization, I think
yeah.
those are characteristics of a bitter person, and it's either a man or a woman.
Right.
Shanita,
And
Of course, though. Yeah.
Shanita,
yeah.
you back?
But
You back?
yeah,
You
yeah,
have
my
something to
phone
say?
died. My bad.
The last point we made before your phone dropped was that one of the characteristics of a bitter person is they like to hear their voice, hear their own voice. They like to overtalk people, so on and so on. You have anything to add?
I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily a bitter person or a person who feels like they never are heard. Like in my relationship, there are times where he overtalks me and I have to get loud because I don't get a chance to have my voice heard. So I will be loud and I may overtalk him because I want to get my point across. So it doesn't make me bitter. It means I want to be heard. So I kind of feel like like Jeff over here because I'm about to say it's the context, like what's happening for you to be loud. What is
Yeah,
your
that one I don't
reasoning
think is a
for
good one.
over talking?
Hassan,
Like
knock
that
it
one.
off.
What?
How y'all see all these comments? I don't see
Rel,
no
Rel,
comments.
looking at the
No, he
comments.
yelling at the.
They they haven't they
Hus-
haven't.
Hus-
You know
Hus-
the chat is having a beef over orange or not. You know,
yeah,
Rel got the chat on the geographical beef
Hassan,
right now.
he be going at it all day,
But
man.
one of the things that I had wanted to go back to before my phone had went off when he was talking about how people in one demographic um can they have different traumas. Like Shakita said, everyone has a trauma, but even living within the same area, me and Q lived next door to each other almost my whole life. And I lived in a decent area. I have people who loved me, but I still had my own types of trauma. I didn't live with my parents. I lived with my grandparents. And I didn't come from a house where of I love yous and you can do anything you want to do. But that in turn, I am the complete opposite of that. Like I only wanted to be a mom and a wife. I only want to be loved and loved. But then I've dealt with someone who we have similar backgrounds, but they're just angry to be angry because they're just mad to be mad. But you you can't stand about generalizing because it's not a general thing. And I don't care what your statistics look like. It's what the person want to have out of it. That was how I feel about it. Your statistic can say what it want, but if the person wants better, they're gonna have better. It doesn't matter if you came from a house full of junkies. I've never done a drug a day in my life, but I come from a family of junkies and alcoholics. I drink, but I'm not an alcoholic. So it's only what you want. And that's why people are getting at you right now, because you kind of make them feel some kind of way because of the places where they have to live or the situation they were born into.
Like we gotta take the emotion out of it. We gotta understand that poverty has an impact on people and is negative. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm saying is that in general, there's a level of poverty that comes from certain places, and there's a level of wealth that comes from certain places, and it affects us differently. And obviously, wealth affects you more positively than poverty does. So if you compare two places that's totally different on the scale, it's gonna be like that's America in a fucking nutshell. And y'all coming
What are
on
you
here
looking
and
at there? What are you gauging that on? I can have a lot of money and be morally.
Go ahead.
Like you can have a lot of money and be like a moral trash bag. Like you have no moral compass.
But we know that. We know that poor rich people have problems, like poor people have problems. But you're least likely to have problems when you have money. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's America. We're living in that right now. We as a people, we've been through slavery. Like for you to deny that fact is like saying yo,
because that's not a fact.
That's not because there's a lot of people with money who out here doing the worst.
How is that not a fact? How is that not a fact when black people still don't run this motherfucking country?
Now
I don't even know how that we're going off topic.
Veered off.
Yeah, we definitely did. We definitely did.
We was told to stay on 1 and 9, and we done jumped on 2. We was told. Yo, so Keisha, what's the next one? What's the next one, Keisha?
Let me see. You got yours open?
Yeah. One of the ones was they struggle to accept advice as a characteristic of a bitter person.
What website y'all on? Where y'all at?
I'm not on the website. I'm actually got to subconscious rethink.
That's what it is. Conscious.
We're dealing, Rell, and you know this stuff. We're dealing with cognitive skills right now. Right. You know that thinking. So what y'all think?
What was it? What was that? The other topic again? What was it?
It was they struggle to accept advice. It's all part of bitterness.
That's I mean, of course, like you dealing with demons, you dealing with trauma from your past. Everything about bitterness is about trauma. Like it's about trauma from your last. You know what I'm saying? Can you shake that? Can you heal that shit? You know what I'm saying? Some of us been through relationships where we've been fucked up, and you know what I'm saying? Some people can't shake that shit. They don't. Some people don't even realize. Sometimes it's them. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I think when you don't realize. Like okay, I'm gonna say me. Like I'll give you a perfect example. I was in an 8-year relationship, you know what I'm saying? But like I've never been that type of person to look at it like, well, damn, everybody's like that. Because I know whoever I chose that 8-year relationship fell with, like that was my choice. So I never been bitter, and I kind of accept fucking with everybody. That's why I'm not like, oh, fuck all black chicks. Nah, like it's okay.
Yo, my chat is really upset with y'all with these curse words. Y'all trying to get us thrown over YouTube. We grown, but we got guidelines.
You didn't say it was a PG-13.
I'm just saying it's a couple. Listen. It's a couple words we can't say. Ain't nobody said it, but just slow down on the curse words. Just YouTube will throw us off. Y'all know Facebook petty. We'll be in jail for nothing. But I just seen one other one. And this is interesting.
What are you talking about?
And it might tie in what you said, Rell, because if a person grew up in poverty or in a bad situation, one of these characteristics about bitterness says, you think you deserve more than what you get.
You think you deserve more than what you get. Okay, so
So you bitter. So a person bitter. You mad.
what tell you?
You mad because you didn't get that raise at your job. You mad
Oh,
because
okay,
you didn't
okay,
get the
okay, okay, okay.
promotion.
I see what you
You
mean.
mad
Okay,
because I mean you just you know
yeah.
some people don't look at what they got instead of looking at what they don't have.
And they
They just
complain all the time, and that's all they discuss. That's all they talk about. That should have been my job. That should have been my husband. Those should be my kids. And then when to go back that last one, when you try to get them some advice or try to talk to them about something, they don't want to hear it because they're too stuck on the misery. They're too stuck on being miserable and sad and bitter. And how do you, like Jeff says, how do you move forward with life and enjoy yourself and enjoy life when all you want to do is harp on all the bad things that's ever happened? It makes it
like,
difficult.
like to me, like expectation always been my thing, and that's part of expectation. You think that you deserve something, or you're looking forward to something so much you're sad at what you got, and I
You
like
could
you know
you could speak life into yourself and manifest great things. You could talk about how great you are and you're powerful and you're beautiful. You can say all of those things. I deserve I want a big house. I want a good job. I want a new job. You can speak all of those things into existence if you have a positive mind. But if you have somebody who's saying, I have this, I deserve that. I live in this 1 bedroom studio apartment, but I really deserve to have that over there. Or why can't I have that man that left me and he's with this person? Or how come Sally at the job got the raise and I work just as hard as her? Instead of saying the things that you're saying, yeah, I deserve a better job. I didn't get the raise here. Let me put in some applications somewhere. Let me work harder. Let me put in my time to do better as a human being or as a person so that I can get the things that I deserve instead of walking around being bitter and nasty. Because if that
that's a,
person is walking around bitter and nasty and you go to talk to them and say, you know what, have a different mindset, be positive, think positive, feel better, they'll be like, bitch, shut up.
yeah.
I'm mad. That's mine. I wanted it and I deserve it. And sometimes there's nothing you can say when somebody is bitter and mad and
And
upset.
it actually says in the research that a person is easily or can easily become bitter if they're not a very optimistic person from the beginning.
Oh, let me tell you something
Yeah.
right now. So at my job, right, I work in human resources, and we at our employee retreat, we watched this video, and it was called Above the Line. I decided that for every orientation, I was going to play this video, and it is about being an above the line employee. If I find it, I'll send it to y'all because I just want you to see how amazing that video was when it spoke of the small things that you don't realize that causes you to be a below the line person, not just an employee, but just a person. You think that you're being positive and you think that you're speaking life into yourself and the people around you, but you're actually being very, very negative. And sometimes you don't realize how bitter you are when you're in a place for a very long time. And instead of you trying to educate yourself to better yourself, uplift yourself, or maybe switching the roles at work or doing something a little bit different or just reaching out and helping somebody instead of focusing on yourself, it kind of causes you to be at a place where you're just so below the line and you don't speak optimistically, and you think that you are like how at one point Jeff was like, yeah, I think that's just being optimistic. It sometimes to yourself, sometimes if you don't know any better, it'll sound like you're being optimistic, but you really aren't.
I,
It's
I
sometimes just the verbiage and the things that you say.
I think this characteristic you ladies discussed earlier, when you were talking about men who are never happy for their friends and how they be
Hmm.
talking to women. I think this one kind of correlates or fits exactly with what you guys were discussing earlier. What do you guys think?
I do too, and I wish that, and I'm not no,
Hey,
I'm not
Keita,
knocking Jeff.
Keita, just to reiterate, because there's some people in the chat that now that wasn't there before.
Oh,
Explain what Keisha's talking about.
So I was saying that we were talking about bitter people, and I was saying that a lot of and all of the men were saying, well, men don't get bitter like that. Men don't worry about that kind of stuff. And we as women were saying they do. And a lot of times they won't tell you, or you are the man who is the bitter person and you are walking around amongst your friends and family fronting. We hear it. You know what I mean? They drop in our inboxes, or my boyfriend's best friend will say to me, what you doing with him? Or, your friend is getting married and you making all kinds of smart remarks about how, oh, she ain't all that. And I don't know what he get married for, or he got that new car, he got that new job. It's the saying that if you could hold each other a little bit more accountable sometimes. I think you do yourselves a disservice when you have a platform to discuss and have conversations about stuff like that, because other men are listening. And a lot of times they're sitting around saying the same things y'all saying. Oh, I ain't bitter, not me. Not me. If you don't know a bitter man, you never heard a man say anything crazy or do anything crazy, fine. But I've heard men and women, and I know it exists. And
I got a question in the chat.
I'm hoping that in this conversation that these men would even present situations that we can discuss from their perspective. But they so perfect, you don't hear them say anything. Ever.
I got a question in the chat, but to make a statement about what you said, Keita, I believe that men build men. I believe that when a man come around another man, we recognize each other BS, so to say. So a lot of times men won't even, when we know we BSing, we don't even try to run that on our brothers or our companions, because we know they know our game. Because they run some of them run the same game.
But they flock together though.
Talking about though.
But y'all flock together. So usually if there's a good dude, and I have a friend, I won't throw him out there, but I say this a lot to him. He's a good guy. And I feel like a lot of his friends flock to him because of that. And they get to feed off of his energy. And people assume because he's such a great guy that all his friends are good too. And they aren't. And he swear his friends is legit, they cool, they ain't corny. And I just be like, you're the and in his defense, I'm assuming he's friends with them and he likes being around and hanging around them because maybe he's teaching them something. But a lot of times, men don't. You guys meet your friends where they are a lot of the times, and women do too. You meet your friends where they are, so they're not usually. A lot of times, y'all are not all on each other's level. You might maybe financially, but mentally, spiritually.
I got one question for y'all. What do you do to motivate your bitter ex? Is it possible?
You don't do that. You don't.
What do you to motivate your bitter ex? Is it possible?
Blockity block.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could motivate your bitter ex. I don't.
You can do with that.
I honestly, I just be praying that they find somebody to be with so they can leave me alone.
Go be bitter with somebody else.
That's all you can rock with.
I pray that they are healthy. I pray that they get everything they want, they need. I hope they don't lack for nothing. So
they don't come back.
Yeah, so they don't come back. Like you try, and you try to set the best example you possibly can too. Like, and I mean by I got a birthday inbox from a guy that I dated for a long time, and to motivate him to not, I just ignored him. You can't feed into a lot of you have to be a good example, because if they know that they can come into your space and disrupt you and bother you and reach out to you whenever they feel like and start arguments, you lost. You got to kind of set the standard for how you want to be treated.
So Q, one of the things that you said, when you said men build men up, I believe that is true. But what y'all got to understand is that your man isn't going to come to you in your weakest moment. When y'all are amongst each other, everybody want to seem like they solid and they on a level. And a lot of dudes aren't like that. And they're intimidated by good dudes. Good dudes who got their stuff together, who are about their business and being positive. And as soon as they leave you, they go hang out with their other homeboy who with the shit, who just out in the street, just out dogging people. So men build each other, but it also at the same time is like, I know you will call somebody out if you catch them on their BS. But there's a lot of dudes who don't. And they just, because they on the same crap that they on. So it's not that y'all don't. And sometimes, like, you're my brother, and if I need you, I'm gonna tell you I need you to take care of this, or can you talk to my real brother for me? Can you make sure this and this is going on? A lot of the times, it's the women who gotta reach out to y'all, because I'd be like, yo, get your man's out my inbox. So it's the women that come to you to tell y'all about y'all men that's acting up. It don't be men coming to me and say, hey, I think my man is messing up. What you think I should do? It don't be that way. They be in there with us. That's why we bringing it to you.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and this ain't to go off the topic. When dudes be in y'all inbox kicking other men in backs in, why y'all just don't put them on Front Street?
Oh, what? Post it on my page
Post
and
it
tag them in it?
and be like, "Yo, if you're gonna say something about him, say something to his face."
And just get us all beat up. Okay.
Right.
I don't think that'll get you beat
Who,
up.
but who do that
These
though?
sassy men. Yes, they will. I
But who
don't.
do
I don't
that?
have men don't kick other men's backs in my inbox. I've had men do it in my face. I've had men say it to me. I had a guy that I was, um, I guess, getting to know kick in his friend's back because his friend got a promotion, and he knew that the friend was my friend, and he didn't do it deliberately. He didn't do it on purpose, but he was bitter. But what I know for sure is he's lazy and he don't work hard. So I literally, for real, and I literally said to him, I just kind of cleaned it up, and I said, that man got what he deserves. He's living the life that he deserves to live because he works hard. He's up
So
all night long working overtime. Like,
so
you're
that
not.
individual falls under that characteristic where part of being bitter is you think you deserve something that you don't deserve.
Man, let me tell you. Yeah. Yeah. And I've had men walk up to me and be like, why you with him? And I'd be like, yeah. And he'll go to say something smart, and I'd be like, excuse me? Oh, no, 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 that's my man, that's my boy. And
Yeah,
I'll tell, and I'll tell
but
the man,
Keita,
and
for men,
I'll tell the other guy, and he'll be like, nah, he just y'all will make up anything for anybody because it is bros before
Keita,
hoes.
Keita, for real though, for
Hmm?
men, that's straight sucker shit. Like
It
not,
is.
and I know I shouldn't be cursing on my own damn platform, but if you're a man and you sitting there worrying about who a female is dealing with,
Yeah.
that's corny.
They
But
can't
that
wait.
happens.
Sometimes they
But
can't wait for you to get home so
Because
they can tell
because
you. They can text
because
you or inbox you.
But
Exactly.
see,
Nah,
because
shorty.
y'all
Shakira
know my
talking.
y'all know my
Shakira talking
motto.
about.
Y'all know my
Shakira.
motto. A female gonna tell you, a female gonna tell you she wants you. You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to push up. You ain't got to do none of that. So,
Exactly.
You gotta push up on
Exactly.
me because I ain't telling nobody nothing.
oh,
You gotta push up. I don't do that.
oh, that's a whole nother show, Keita.
but it does happen more times than not.
Yeah,
But not.
like Hassan said, that's called dirty macking. When you got to kick the man back and like, come
Yeah,
on.
men don't listen no way. It don't even matter. Y'all don't listen because that be
But
your
shit,
boy from back in
All
the
right,
day and
so
all that
hey,
other
Keita,
bull.
Keita, you generalizing?
that's better. She been generalizing the whole time. She been generalizing the whole time.
I'm saying y'all don't hear.
Look. I'm
And
gonna
I
say
said
this.
I generalize.
She
I'm
did
gonna
say
say
she
this right.
generalized.
I said
Look,
I owned
She
up
did
to
say that
it.
early.
look. Men deal
She
with
did.
men deal with bitterness with other men. They deal with expectation that they can't live up to. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't know what type of men you deal with that be talking to you about other men. Now that shit is the worst of the worst of the worst.
There's a lot of people who do it. You'll be
You know,
surprised.
and
There's a
I
lot of
had
men
to
who do that.
We got
understand that.
look, we got somebody in the chat that just started being bitter.
Yeah,
Somebody,
like
Fabian just said somebody, men don't listen. That's generalizing.
now look at Fabian talk. You don't know shit, but like let's keep it funky. Let's let's keep it funky out here. Like yo, men only bitter against what other men do and like their expectations or what they should be for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Men don't really get bitter over women because like men can step over and get to the next woman like that. That's cool.
No,
You
they
know what I'm
You can
don't.
saying?
get to
You
the
gotta,
next
Y'all
you
man
Men
got
as
straight
gotta.
much
y'all
as
over
the one
women.
you
y'all
like.
now women's level of bitter. Y'all be bitter against men. Men get bitter over what they should be as men and what they're not. You know what I'm saying? So they may kick in another man's back to you, and that may be their little level up because they don't feel like they love, they don't live up to that other man. But like our levels are bitter, different. You know what I'm saying?
The word
Y'all,
the
y'all
word
get a
is
relate
real.
over.
We gossip more than women.
I mean, we got. I feel like we
And
got
that's
some
a form
that
of
does more
bitterness.
than women, but everybody gossips. Let's like, cause chicks like to say, oh well, man, everybody fucking gossips, man.
But
Period.
Q, isn't
You
that a
gossiping
form
right
of
now.
Yeah,
a bitterness?
gossiping is also
Gossiping,
falls of
a form of
bitterness.
bitterness. Hmm.
Right. Like it just happens. Like, and what I'm saying is like men, like y'all can say what y'all want in the fucking chat or whatever. Hassan,
Are
I'm
you
pretty
mad at the
sure
chat, Real?
because it's right in front of
Real, Real, Real.
it's in
Don't
front of
pay
my
the
face.
Real. Don't pay the chat no mind.
I, I,
The chat,
I'm gonna,
the
I'm
chat
gonna,
is supporting the show, Real. They
I
liking
mean,
and
all right, but,
subscribing.
but let's keep it funky. Like, just men have to live up to different men's expectations. It's always a competition. Men are very fucking competitive. So yeah, they might kick your back in. That's the worst of the men. But as far as bitterness towards women, I just don't think like we concerned with. Me personally, I ain't concerned with that shit. I can
So,
see
so do
myself. Go ahead.
so do you think that men are bitter about relationships that went wrong?
I don't think you should like if you on your purpose, if you trying to get money, what the fuck are you worried about what happened to that relationship? If you get your money, that relationship gonna come back to you ASAP.
But I
Child,
mean,
Not
people
like,
ain't no
really.
people ain't
Everybody ain't about
robots.
money though.
People
Huh?
ain't robots. People are emotional,
Right.
and men are emotional as everything too. Like men are emotional
What
too.
is
When
fixed
when somebody
emotion?
break up with them, they be ready to lose their damn mind.
So let's
Hmm.
Chiquita, you said that about 45 minutes ago, and I'm still there. What do you mean about this sickness that brothers be having when somebody
Honey.
quit them?
can't
Because
eat,
you know
can't
what, a lot
sleep.
You
and
done gave
the
somebody a
situations
snapper.
I can't stand him. The situations I have is when people. I'm not okay. It took me a long time to get to this place in my life, but when a relationship is over, it has to be over, right? And a lot of times, by the time it gets to the point to where it's there, I don't want to work on it. I just want to move on, right? And a lot of times, men feel as though that they can do whatever they want, say whatever they want, and because you are in a relationship, that you are obligated to work on it. You are not my husband. I want to curse, but you are not my husband, and I don't have to work on anything. I've been married, been there, done that. So if I can walk away from my marriage, I can walk away from anybody, and I don't have to stay and put up with nothing. So when it's over, it's over. I don't want to work on it. If I come to you and I tell you that, that this is it, once it gets to the point where it's hurting me and it's bothering me, I don't want to do it anymore.
But
Anything that hurts me, I
Kita,
don't want to do, and the
let me
men don't understand that.
let me ask you a question. Do you think that you could take that advice from a male friend quicker than you could take it from a male that you're dealing with?
Um,
I think, and I say this, I had this conversation with my son. He's 21. And I said to him, people always talking about how they want to be married or be in relationships with their best friend. The level of the leeway that you give your best friend or your friend to say and be exactly who they are is huge, huge. And then you get in this relationship with this person, and this person is telling you, don't talk to me like that. Don't have that tone with me like that. Or all of a sudden, your jokes are not funny. All of a sudden, all of the things that they liked about you as a friend, once you start having sex with them, all of the dynamic completely changes. And then it turns into, well, I'm not your friend. I'm this person. And then I think to myself, then how do we speak freely? How do we have that freedom to be able to talk and be ourselves? You know what I mean? And then I'm the kind of person where people will be like, well, you're they want so much more from me in a romantic way sometimes. And what I'm missing for me in that comfort is that I don't feel like you're my friend. You know what I mean? I feel like I don't feel like a friend. I don't feel like a friend of you. And people don't know how to be friends. And they're the same person that say, I want to take this time to get to know you and be your friend. But once I give you some, the whole relationship completely changes.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You don't even want to have sex with him.
So,
He done got a
okay,
nigga
listen,
outlook.
listen. We got sunshine in the building. Let me stop. Keith. Go ahead, Shanita. I know you got something to say about this. Why are you blushing, Keith?
Terrible. Y'all terrible.
Go ahead, Shanita, because I know
But it's
you
the
got something to say
truth. The
about this.
dynamics of the relationship changes when you become romantically involved. So that whatever that man is saying, he's not even saying it to me anymore like a friend. He's now talking to me completely different.
Yeah, that's
But
fact.
but doesn't that change both ways?
Yes.
No,
Because
I
because you
always talk like that.
because
I'm very
I'm always
but,
consistent.
loving me.
but you
I'm
because
very
you
consistent. And
excuse
he
my
would be like,
language,
I'm your
but
man now. And I'd be like, you my friend. You still my friend.
Shakira thinks she a nigga. Shakira thinks she a nigga. But understand, if you get the right dude, all this shit you talking will be flipped on the other side of that. You know what I'm
You know
saying?
what's so funny? You know what's so funny? Even at this point, I probably have the right dude, right? But I'm still exactly who I am. And if I can be accepted for exactly who I am, all of the talking I talk and everything that I do, don't take me so seriously. Just chill, relax. You're not here to control me. I don't want to control you. We will be so happy. Everybody's perspective of relationship is so different. And I was married for 10 years, but again, this was a while ago. So I got divorced when I was in my early 30s. I'm 43 years old. So I had a whole entire marriage and then I've been unmarried all of this time. My perspectives of relationships is very, very different than most men because most men are usually just getting divorced or they just got their heart broke a couple of years ago or something like that and they still kind of I'm usually their first relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm dealing with people who are just not mature relationship wise like I am.
So like she have an outlook like that's similar to mine. Like I don't deal with nobody on a
don't be
relationship level.
don't be up here caping for her.
No, I'm not caping.
Don't be.
And actually,
There you put it on.
I
Got the
think she
fan
lying.
on in the background with it.
No, and actually, I think she lying.
Oh.
But I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna just be controversial. I'm gonna be controversial because usually when a chick got thoughts like that, that shit changes when they start falling, emotionally. Because all that friendship is what I say. Like, yo, let's just be neutral. Let's be who we are, and let's progress as it is. And then when they fall into their emotions, they can't handle it. So the expectations change. Just like how she's saying, I expect her to stay neutral and progress and become, sort of a money thing. Well, let's get this money. Let's do this, whatever,
Why
whatever.
is everything about money with you and not love? Everything isn't about money. Like
Because,
the past two times when they were talking about relationships, you were like, why do you care about that relationship
It's
that passed
past
to get to
traumas.
money?
because
It's
the
not
two,
about money.
because
It's
okay,
not. And you know what? When you get a little bit older and get into a little bit more relationships, what she's saying is that yes, you are going to change as you get emotionally attached to people. But what she's saying is I should still be able to be me and you enjoy me as me with all my bullshit, all my jokes, all my laughters, all my crying, my bipolarism, all things that make me me. That's what make relationships last when you can accept that person for who they are. Not everybody can do that. And that's why relationships don't work the way they should work because you have this expectation and you don't want to be hurt because somebody did XYZ and I don't like you joking. My biggest
That's the
issue that I
bitterness.
have right now, and I'm kind of glad that I'm blocked on Facebook, is because I joke. If you're my friend on Facebook, I post whatever I want. If it don't matter what it is, and I say what I want to say. He can't accept that. So the way our relationship works is I don't want to see that stuff that you post. So let's not do that. I don't like that because I can't be me. But I'm
Right.
still making money. He's still making money. But it's a relationship because at a certain age, my money is always going to come to me, regardless of who I'm with or what I'm doing. But at this age, I want something that's lasting because when my money gone or when I'm tired, when I come home at the end of the day, I'm not rubbing my face on on no money. I'm
but
calling my dude like, come home. I don't feel well. Come
you know
here. I
why
need to talk about my day.
I say that because
Money can't buy
emotions
you
don't.
happiness, Jeff. That's
Yes,
what
it can.
It
that's what
cannot.
that's what the chat's saying.
It's gonna buy you new shoes and cars and
You
everything, but
know
at
what
the
it
end of the day,
I'm gonna be happy
you
Hey
know what it
yo,
is
if
because
you're not gonna be happy.
can
I'm
I
gonna
ask
be
y'all a
crying
question? I got one question. How we get into relationships?
because
that's
we
all business is
we were
about.
Because
discussing
I mean,
We've been
because
swerving
we
all
were
night.
because we were
but we've
discussing
been talking
bitterness.
about bitter. We've been talking about bitter. I
We
have
Nah, you
another
know,
question though.
Okay, oh, go ahead, Keisha.
So, do you guys think it's a subset of black women that are bitter because black men don't seem to prefer them? They seem to prefer everything but them.
Mm.
but them all black men that got is black women. Let's be real.
If we're not
What?
going to have an open and honest discussion, then we can ask another question.
Oh,
I
Yeah.
don't know any
Keisha.
I don't know any women who are experiencing that now. I would say years ago, I had a couple of friends who were concerned and they felt like, black men were going in another direction. But lately, I don't know any friends who experienced that or have to deal with that.
Not now. No.
Me either.
I just want to say I love all women.
I just want it to be a well-rounded discussion. I
There you
don't
go,
feel
sis.
that either, but I don't want to seem like we just constantly bashing men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah,
No,
but I mean that's what y'all do, so y'all might as well
Well,
just
I mean,
keep
with that
going.
with that being said, too, like, do
Keep
men
going.
feel like black women don't take up for them? I mean,
no,
Don't
I
it could be
don't.
nobody
the
care
same
I
way.
about
don't.
no damn
I
taking
don't.
up for you. Y'all
I don't.
suck us
I
up
don't.
online every day,
I don't.
man.
I don't feel like black women don't take up for me. Number one. Number two. Majority of my friendships now are women, which is strange for me at this age because at one time I couldn't be friends with women that wasn't a relative because I had other motives going on.
Motives. Right.
I had other motives going on. So now because I feel like I matured a little bit better and the relationships are a little bit better, I don't have no ulterior motive. I could call Keisha and talk about anything and not worry, not her thinking like, oh, he's saying something to
Oh
make me
God.
feel uncomfortable. Shanita the
Right.
same way. Shakira, you the same way. Like I could talk to y'all like if y'all was a guy like anything. And don't feel like, yo, if I tell her some of my weaknesses, she gonna be looking at me like a sucker. I don't
Mhm.
even think like
Yeah.
that no more. Like it is what it is. Most people in my support group are women, and they're very strong and they're very opinionated. So it's like if honestly for me, if I can't take advice and real life criticism, I might as well bow out because y'all gonna say it. Most women is gonna say it.
Yeah, I just think that that's a negative narrative that they're putting towards, especially black women. Like, we're bitter, we're miserable, we're this, we're that. And that's just not what I see in the women around me.
And I think maybe they're experiencing that in old relationships. Maybe I hear a lot of that. Oh, women are so miserable, they're so bitter. Usually that man is speaking of one woman. He's speaking
Right.
of women that he's dealing with. And I always redirect him and say, well, these are not, he's not generalizing these strangers. He's generalizing these women he used to deal with. What kind of
Boom.
trail are you leaving behind?
Mm.
When you're leaving these women, how are you, what is happening when you leave them that is causing them to be so bitter? And it's all about taking responsibility for, yourself. I've had to take responsibility for maybe the way that I've treated people that have left them in an uncomfortable state. I'm the I have to own up to that. Like if I used to deal with somebody and I feel like I've given him what I thought was closure and he's still talking, I might block him. And it might cause and it might cause him to be bitter because he feels like, wow, she blocked me. You know what I mean?
Y'all gotta stop doing that.
Or, I was friends with somebody and they did something to me and they don't apologize. I completely cut you off. And I sleep very well at night about it, but I know it causes people to be better and it causes people to be in a bad place. So when you are a man and you're saying both my baby mothers are bitter, women are bitter, they don't, and they took me to court for child support. What did you, what happened? What did you do that contributed to the bitterness? You know what I mean? Like she wasn't so bitter she could, and every situation is different, right? But all of these women that you are dealing with are bitter. And every time a man says it, it's because he's talking about the last person he's dealt with. What did you do? You know what I mean? What did you contribute? And I'm only saying this to him because he's saying it. So you know,
Mhm.
what did you do? What did you contribute to that bitterness? You know, sometimes you have to take ownership for, you know, what's going on or what's happening. And if you don't have any ownership to take, then okay, fine. But sometimes you have to. Everybody's not everybody's fault.
So I we've been rocking for about an hour and 30 something minutes, y'all. Do anybody have any uh things that could, prevent bitterness? Like, I took
Um, let me let
we
me
got
let me let me close it out, man. Well, on me, my whole thing is that we got to be accountable for who we fucking with. Like, sorry for the curse. We got to be accountable for who we messing with. Um, and we got to know, where they come from, what's their expectations. And I think we need to get to know each other before we even think about getting serious. This way, you avoid that. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't have to block nobody after situations. I feel like everybody should be friends. You should accept that it didn't work. And I've been through a lot of those situations where they felt like, oh well, let me block this guy. Listen, I put in hard emotional work just like you did. You know what I'm saying? All we doing is building a hold in the community by doing things like that. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. That's fine. Nobody really should be bitter. Unless somebody put their hands on you or did something disrespectful, nobody should be bitter. Things don't work out. That's cool. Just don't extrapolate that onto the next man and, or say that's men because personally, it's probably your own choice. The same thing with men. You know what I'm saying? That chick probably got her own problems, just like you probably got your own problems. Y'all just ain't a good match. Um, you know, and it's okay to deal with other colors and whatever. That's all I'm saying.
The area codes and zip codes too.
That's so.
I'm not even
That's
gonna
other colors. That is.
hey,
I think
everybody hold on, Nita. Everybody in the chat, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it. And if you have any ideas for a show, just email me at ltalk5600 gmail.com. Just that's for the chat. Go ahead, Shanita.
I think one of the or a couple of things is how he was saying nobody needs to block anybody when it's over. Sometimes what people have to understand is that it is over. And you're not blocked just because, okay, I'm done with you, the relationship ain't work, blocked. You're usually blocked because I gave you what I could give you. I gave you my version of closure. And if I said it 1,000 times, you're not gonna beat me in the head and guilt me and talk to me all day and crying in my ear. I said what I said. It hurt me to do it. It's over. And that's why people get blocked. You don't get blocked because I just like, oh, F him, I moved on. You get blocked because you don't know when to stop. Like, I get it. And I'm gonna
You
tell you,
dealing with
I've been
stalkers.
blocked. Bruh,
Yeah.
I've been blocked. I've been blocked. And I posted that shit on Facebook. That nigga blocked me on everything. But it was because it's the relationship over, yo. I don't care. I posted that shit all over there, like, yo, I'm blockity block. But it was because he gave me his reason. I said no. I mean, and I was like, well, this is what I think. Once the person says what they say, their closure is what it is. Move on from that. But another thing that keeps you from being better is learning the lesson from whatever situation. You didn't get the promotion. Why didn't I get that promotion? Oh, because I was late every day for it. Or
Oh,
the
oh,
relationship didn't work out. Why
Mm.
didn't I get this? Or for whatever reason, you got to take something from the situation and grow from it. And you got to take
Mm.
criticism.
Mm.
If you can't take criticism, then nothing is ever your fault. And you're always going to be mad at somebody else.
mhm. True.
Keisha.
Shakita.
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
um, I think that people have to, own their truth. That's how you're not bitter. Like if you want something different, then be something different. Um, if you didn't get that promotion, try harder the next time. If it's nothing wrong with dating different. You don't have to date the same type of guy. Some of that comes with experience. People have to learn themselves. Once you learn yourselves, then you don't become bitter because you know what you're gonna do, what you want to deal with, what you're willing to deal with. It makes things a lot easier in my perspective.
Shanita, Keita, you got anything to wrap up?
Not really. I just think that everybody has to just bitterness comes from hurt and bitterness comes from pain. You can't make anybody be with you. You can't what's for somebody is for them. What's for you is for you.
Hmm.
Job, career, school, kids, everything. You kind of have to just appreciate where you are at the moment, and when things don't work out, you have to find some peace with that. And it's easier said than done. Everybody isn't there, and it's not easy. I've been let go from a job, and I was definitely very, very hurt from it, and it took me a while um to let it go and be grateful for being able to survive, and continue to support myself and my children who were in college, and I had absolutely no income. I had to take ownership for how things unfolded and the things that had happened, and I had to be grateful that I had the money to support myself for an entire year with no income. You know what I mean? And then even when that was over, all of the money was gone, and I was like, that is all of my money. Like then the bitterness kept creeping up, and every time I felt it creeping up, I had to say to myself, it's over, it's gone. I had to find a blessing in being able to provide and take care of myself. And the blessing in it all is I have a phenomenal job. I work with great people. I make more money than I did before, But just imagine if I kept holding on to that. There were nights I couldn't even sleep, and I literally had to meditate and pray out how I was feeling and the bitterness that I was feeling. It felt so unnatural. I was so miserable, and I kept trying to blame everything and every situation and kept trying to figure out how did this happen. But when I was feeling those feelings, I had to literally, like I said, I had to meditate and pray and try to get it out of my spirit so that I can invite better things into my life and into my space.
All right, we're gonna wrap the show up. Y'all stay on the line though. For me, the number one thing to prevent myself from being bitter in any situation is to always reevaluate myself, whether it's relationships with anybody, work, anytime. You always just gotta just always check yourself, check why you doing, why know your why, as most people say, and just
Yeah.
focus on what I could do and what I can't do. I can't do. And we're gonna end the
Yeah.
broadcast with that. Thanks everybody in the chat for coming, tuning in. Like I said, share, like, subscribe. That's the only way the channel gonna grow. Thank you.
Good night.
Night.